season of Spikes and Heels. We promise you, listen, we have gotten so much flack from family members like, where have y'all been? We putting y'all down. We not watching y'all show no more. We did not mean to be away this long. After the whole Super Bowl, we had a little lineup plan of the things we want to discuss during the summer and the off season. We had a whole plan. And then just life took over.
But yeah, we're just so grateful that we didn't lose any numbers while we were down, and we really want to grow them this year. Sabrina and I have really been working on a format and a show. We got a lot of surprises for you guys. Right, we got a surprise tonight.
Yes, we do. What's the surprise, Gwen? Should we just cut to the surprise?
I think we should. And look at here. So today we have the North Carolina Rebels on our show today for the first and second, their second guest ever.
Ever.
And how many championships have you guys won?
We've won 8 in the last 3 seasons.
Hey, wait a minute, hold up. Help me to understand. Wait, let's go back. Sorry, please forgive me. Tell us who you are. Who are you?
I'm sorry. Yeah, introduce yourself. I'm sorry.
First off, I'm Coach Barfield of the North Carolina Rebels. I'm the special teams coach and the assistant defensive coordinator.
And I'm Jaylon Hines. I'm a cornerback for the North Carolina Rebels.
So tell us about like how you got into this. How did you get into this whole CFA? First of all, what is CFA, and then how did you get into it?
The CFA is the Coastal Football Alliance. It consists of, I want to say, about 10 teams, mostly North Carolina, 2 South Carolina teams. But this upcoming season, we're adding teams. I think it's going to be like 2 teams from Tennessee, a team from Virginia, and a couple of more teams from South Carolina. So this year, like this upcoming season, it's going to at least be like 20 teams.
Wow. And so they all seem to be like Southern teams then, all from the South.
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay.
Who can play? Who can't play? Is there an age limit?
Well, like most of the ages, 18 and up. 18 and up. We prefer, you graduate high school and, basically if you are an adult, basically.
Okay.
Right.
So is there an age limit on the other end? Like if I'm 45 and I think I can be a kicker, can I come?
No, it's no age. You can come for sure.
That's
it's, like he said, from 18 pretty much up. We've seen people play 40s, probably maybe. I never seen nobody 50, but definitely some people in their late 40s playing and affecting the game. So it's about what you put into it.
And they play physical positions like tackling and all that?
Yes, just tackle football. You have equipment. Just tackle football, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you start playing ball? Coach, have you ever played? Because that was one of the things that I liked about Mike Flores last season. We were all talking about him, the coach that got fired. He never played in the NFL, but he became an NFL coach. Have you ever played?
Yeah, I played middle school and high school, 7th through 12th grade.
What position?
Well, I came from a small school, so actually I have played from 7th grade to 12th grade. I have played every position except center and offensive guard.
Yeah, because those got to be big boys, and you're not big enough.
So you played every position on the field?
Yes. At one point from 7th grade to until I graduated. But, my last years, I ended up playing wide receiver, running back, safety, corner, kickoff, and punt return.
What is your height? I can't tell you're sitting. How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
Really? And you played wide receiver?
Yes, I played wide receiver, tight end. Yeah, like I said, I came from a small school, so we had to get in where we fit in.
That's a lot of heart. I don't think I 5'5" as a wide receiver. That's pretty good.
I ain't doing it.
No,
Jaylon, when did you start first playing football?
I started playing football recreationally like 7 or 8, I would say. I'm from a small town called Tarboro, so that's like Tarboro, North Carolina. That's like pretty much as far as positive stuff, that's like the only thing that we had going on at that time. Some of y'all might know Ty Gurley, the running back that played for the Rams and for the Falcons. He's from there. So, you know, that was like pretty much all we had. So I started playing there, and I played through my junior year of high school. And then I took a little break, and then I found out about, after I graduated and, you know, started my adult life, I found out about semi-pro. So I've been at it ever since.
So how many years you've been doing it? How many years is that?
Ooh, semi-pro, in years it's 2 years, but you know, we do like a spring season and a fall season. So you get 2 seasons in a calendar year. So if you choose to play, you know, you could play in 2 years, you could play 4 seasons. Me, I played 3, but you could play 4 in 2 calendar years.
And so that's what I was gonna say. Like he said, they won 8 championships or something in 3 years. And I'm like, how is that possible? But you just
because you could go. My fault. You got it, coach.
Okay, my bad. Like we started in 2019. Like the Rebels, we're only a spring team, so we count our league championships, our champion versus champions, and our national championship. So you know, we add all of those up. This one that we just won is like 8 in 3 seasons.
Oh my gosh.
So you win the league championship.
Does it get easier, get harder? Because I want to coach. That's what I want to do. They won't let me because I'm a female. But I can. I know
that's not true, because the team that we played, they had a lot of female coaches on their staff.
I heard they had all female coaches.
It was an all female coaching staff for the national championship game. When we played the Virginia Crusaders, they had a full female coaching staff, which is, you know, impressive.
You were going to make a point earlier, Jay, and I think we cut you off. I'm not sure.
Sorry.
No, I was just kind of reiterating what Coach Barfield said about, everybody's in the league and you win your league championship, and then a lot of times you'll play like a special events game, meaning like champion versus champion. So if it's a champion of another league, you can play them, and then if you win that game, and then you go to the national championship, which is where we met Miss Gwen at, and then you win that game. You can win up. That's 3 in 1 year. So right now,
so y'all won 3 in 1 year.
Well, this team has this was my first year playing with the Rebels, so we won 2 of them this year. We didn't have a special event game this year, but we won our league championship, and we won our national championship the day I met you. So
that was cool. Coach, did you find it hard adjusting from being a player to a coach? Was it easy? Was certain parts of your job easier because you were already a player?
I think for me, coaching, period, it was a big adjustment because, like, naturally, I'm a quiet person. So, you know, that was like kind of a challenge too, you know, to kind of be, you know, more, you know, I don't want to use the word aggressive, but I say being more vocal, because, you know, as you met my family, you know them, they're kind of talkative, like I'm the more like.
I didn't see him at all. I was like, where's the other one? They was like, no. Everybody fit in so well, and I finally saw him the last day, and I was like, oh, okay.
But I would say for me, coaching was more. It's more. I don't want to say harder. It was more of an adjustment.
Got it.
Personality-wise,
yeah.
Oh yeah, personality.
Yeah. He's very phlegmatic, Sabrina. I didn't see him to the last day. He don't even make a eat like that. Everybody else all over the place, but not him. I knew exactly when she said my other son, I knew exactly who he was.
But one thing I can give props to my head coach, you know, Coach Graham, that was like one of his challenges with me. That was like one of his things, you know, to get me, you know, more vocal. And, you know, and that like spilled over. So, you know, I'm cool with it now.
Okay.
How many years you been a coach?
I actually started in 2015. I did it like in 2015. I was a part of a team called the North Carolina Havoc, and I actually started out keeping stats. I didn't really start coaching until like maybe like 4 seasons ago.
Okay. And the CFA, did you say it's semi-pro?
Yes, ma'am. You know, you have your, middle school, high school, college. You
Mhm.
have your Canadian League. You have your NFL, XFL.
Right.
But semi-pro is more where you don't get paid. It's more you do it for fun,
Oh,
and
okay.
because you still love the game, and because you still love it. You still love the game. Players love to still play.
Mhm.
When coaches still coach. It's something to do, man, and it's fun.
It's fun.
But there's one
May
thing I
I
want
can't tell.
to do.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You do not get paid. Nobody
But I
gets
can't
paid.
tell it just for fun because some of them players were serious. One dude was like, I need my sleep. I was like, okay, but I said, oh, we got to play a game. And they were so focused. Like the day before, they were okay, fine. That day, they were straight focused. I was like, okay, I can see now how they flipped that switch. Like we about to play. I can see why they champions too. All of them look beast mode to me. But do this favor for us because we had a question last season, and Sabrina and I both want your professional and personal opinion. They had a topic that came up. What's the hardest position to play on the field?
Or the thing that we discussed was what position would you not want to play? And I gave my answer and she gave hers.
So which one? Without telling what we both picked. What's the hardest position? And you play multiple position, coach. So which one would you not want to play?
Wait a minute, what'd you say, Jay?
I said, I want to hear y'all answers first if you don't mind.
No, you got to tell us.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right.
You go first. Go ahead.
I said, because I don't like blame and I don't do rejection well. I said I would never want to be the kicker. Because if it's the playoff and it's 2 points down and I'm supposed to kick the ball, I've seen more rejected looks on kickers' face than any other player as long as I've been watching football.
And I said I never want to be a DB or a cornerback because when you're playing with your man and you just barely like swipe him or you know what I'm saying, it's all subjective. So they can call you for pass interference and change the course of the game. So I said cornerback.
Okay, I'll go first on this one, Coach. I would definitely say DB. I'm a DB though. I love playing DB. But I would definitely say I think it's the toughest position just because one, you got to do mostly everything backwards. Backpedaling and all that stuff, breaking on the ball. It's just kind of a little bit reactionary, if you will. But I love it though. It's a challenge, it keeps me on my toes. Like, you got to be aware. But it is a tough position because it's no in between at DB. Either you win it or you losing. You know what I mean? It's no, it's sometimes, other positions you might can go 50, 75% on the play. And it might can, to the naked eye, to somebody that's not a coach or just a regular spectator, you might can get away with it. But, if you slack at DB, it be points on the board. It could be.
I didn't disagree with her. I just thought I don't want to be the kicker. But you guys are making a valid point. Coach, you?
I'm going to go different route. I'm going to say center.
Huh? Really? I want to hear this. Come on, give me some.
Because you have to think about it. If the quarterback gets a bad snap, he's going to fumble the ball. You're gonna blame the center for the bad snap. He can hike the ball over the quarterback's head. Other team can recover, and especially if you got an offense that's like based off timing, the center actually he has to get the ball back, and in a nice amount of time, he has to block the person in front of him. He has to shift to the left, shift to the right. The center position I think is the hardest position to play.
It could go both ways, though. It could go both ways. I don't know. As a DB, I know the game is, especially today, where, on all levels that's under the NFL, they kind of base stuff off of the NFL. People like to see points. You know what I mean? So everything is automatically in the offense's favor, if you ask me. But I'm a DB, so I'm a little bit biased. You know what I mean?
Think about it. Offensive favor, the center got to snap it. He got to snap it.
True.
Snap it on time, get that timing right.
Right. Yeah. I never thought about the center. I guess we could say that. I don't want to play football. That's what I'm saying. And speaking of don't want to play football, gentlemen, let me pick your brain a little bit.
Right.
Do you want to ask another question, Sabrina?
No, I think we're going to the same place. Go ahead.
All right. I have a bone to pick, and I want you guys to chime in and let me know how you feel. This female league, not feeling it. Why do they have to be in thongs? Like, y'all got all uniform. These girls on the field playing in thongs. Why y'all ain't got on no thongs? We want something to look at too.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No,
You're right.
we
Come
don't.
on, God. No,
Oh,
we don't.
God. Jaylon, you gonna answer that one first,
Y'all know y'all seen it. Y'all know y'all seen. Oh yeah, I want to see them linemen. Sabrina, could you imagine them linemen?
Listen. First of all, I haven't seen that in years.
That. No, seriously, Sabrina, I'm not playing. Why they dress like that? Why they?
You know why they're dressed like that?
Sell tickets.
Not for real.
They want to sell tickets. And they want to sell tickets and sell a fantasy. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
But so, I don't oppose them.
You said you don't want that?
I don't oppose.
I bet you don't oppose it.
Some of them girls are talented.
Yeah.
But they do have a female league that where they are, like, padded up and everything.
They do?
What is it called?
Man, I just watched it the other day too.
Yeah, it's like a female semi-pro league, ain't it, Jaylon?
It is.
The one that I keep pulling up when I go online to look is them in the underwear.
I'd like to know the name of the one where they actually suit up.
Wear uniform.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up and I'm gonna get it for you. I'm gonna look that up and I'll get it for you.
Thank you.
So if let's say I'm a guy and I want to join the CFA, do you just walk on? Like, how do you get into the CFA?
I go. Every team has an owner. And basically, you know, a lot of it is people local to your area. You know what I mean? People usually try to stick to their area. Some people don't. It is what it is. But you basically are in your area. It'll be, a team. They have a head coach or owner. Mm-hmm. You reach out to them. If they are accepting players or need positions filled or whatnot, they might tell you to come try out. And then as far as the CFA, we have our league has a registration fee, which is a small fee, but you have to register also in order to play. But that stuff goes towards like the league itself, the rings and all-star uniforms and that type of stuff. So it all goes back to us at the end of the day.
So the players basically pay for everything, the uniforms, everything.
Right. So yeah. So if I'm joining the CFA specific, and I pay like a $20 league fee, right? If every player pays it, then when it's time to go like all-star selections or like our version of the Pro Bowl and those type of things, then then it goes towards that and everybody pitches in instead of it just being like a mass, like huge fee for a smaller amount of people.
Okay. So it's structured like NFL. So what's your team limit? 52 players? And then you do have like a Pro Bowl, playoffs and stuff like that. It's structured right after the NFL?
I can't say it's structured exactly after the NFL, but we do have playoffs and playoff seeding, home games, away games, based off that type of stuff. Most teams are having like how you say it, statisticians. I guess that you call it, and those type of things. We have games that's live streamed as well. Like our national championship game is on YouTube under the Sunshine Bowl. So, all that type of stuff is out there for exposure. Definitely.
You get a ring when you win?
Yes, we do.
Oh, so you got some bling.
You have one. Let's see this.
You gotta put it on.
Hold on, I got one I can show you. Hold on.
Yeah.
I want some. We had a whole topic on this, Jaylon. You can help dispel this too. Break this up for me and Sabrina. I told Sabrina, if I was Larry Fitzgerald, we were talking about Larry Fitzgerald, how we were sad that he was going to retire without ever winning the Super Bowl, right? I told Sabrina, if I was a good player and I was on the Jets, I would play 1 or 2 seasons with the Jets. If the Jets didn't get better, I would roll out and I would try to get on a team that had an opportunity for me to go to Super Bowl. Sabrina was like, no, I would just stay. she's more loyal than I am. I said, Sabrina, but they work hard the ultimate goal is to get a ring.
Mhm.
You're not gonna get no ring on the Jets. Let's keep it
Well,
real.
well, I mean, everybody's ultimate goal might not be to get a ring. To be honest, you know, some people in the NFL, and I know for a fact some people in the NBA, they don't care about rings. You know what I mean? Some people care about generational wealth and stuff like that. So if they're on a team that might not be the best, if they're putting up their personal numbers, and that's going to give them a bigger payday than if they go somewhere where the team was already winning and you know what I mean, that type of thing, they might not. But I think you should do it for, you know, if you playing, I think that the root of it should definitely be love of the game, championships for sure.
Yeah.
I guess he fell in the middle because I did say I would go on Belichick's team and eat oodles and noodles because he's not gonna pay me. But at least I would have had me some hardware, you know. So
he got the ring out there.
Right here.
I'm sorry.
Let me see
I
the ring.
don't know. Can you see it? This is the very first one that we got. I don't know if you can see it.
That is an actual
That looks like
Can you
a
see it?
amazing.
Can you see it?
I'm looking at
now we can't.
No, pick it up some. I can't see it, Sabrina. Move it over this way.
This way.
There we go.
That's perfect.
This is the first one that we have.
Wow.
That's nice.
But these are the other two. Like this is the last one that we got. I don't know if you
Pull
can
it
see
back
that.
now. Move it over this way. Now put
Can
it
you
down.
turn it towards the camera, the shiny
Like this way. That's nice. Oh my God.
My. Okay.
One more. I don't know if you can see that.
Now that's how you got to show it right there.
I like that one.
Wow. Anyone more special than the other, or they're all special to you, Coach?
Well, for me personally, this championship here, this season, to me, this season means more to me than any other season because we had a lot of ups and downs. And, you know, for me personally, before the season started, I had a heart attack in December. One of my other coaches lost his father. One of my players lost his brother. We started out 0-2. People counted us out. So, you know, this season here to me means more season than, you know, means, like I'm saying, this season means more to me than, you know, any other season due to the ups and downs, off the field problems. You know, we had health problems. We had, you know, deaths and, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, we just found a way to, you know, come through, make it through, win a championship. We came together. I think this year made our team stronger and closer for like
Adversity
everything.
Adversity makes you stronger. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm so blessed with God that you had some favor. You still here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So what have you learned the most from being a coach? What have you learned the most? And then Jay, what has, you know, playing taught you as well? So what have you guys learned?
For me personally, learn more being a coach is learning how to deal with, you know, different personalities. You know, dealing with, you know, when you're coaching adults, you do have to realize that, you know, they have families, they have kids, they have jobs, you know, they have like other issues too. So, you know, I think another thing that I learned, you know, that you can't be selfish doing this as a coach. So, you know, being like unselfish and realizing that, you know, these other guys, you know, they have problems too. But, you know, once we come on that field, you know, all your problems go away for like 3 to 4 hours. So, you know, that's something that, you know, when you on that field, everything goes away. You know, you just focus on the game and whatever outside noise, you just block it out.
Okay.
That's so good.
For me, I would say learning, you know, just another level of, or kind of like a reminder of, like, sometimes you fall down and you just gotta get back up and keep pushing. You know what I mean? Kind of the same stuff that you would teach a kid.
Yeah.
It happens, but you know, it happens, and sometimes you gotta dust yourself off a little bit. Like Coach said, we started off the year 0-2, and you know, it just bring out character when stuff like that happen. It bring out character, and for people who like aren't on your team and stuff, it show their true colors about who really want to see you succeed and not. So, you know, yeah, this year right here, been, man, this was a special year for sure.
And winning the championship just capped it off. That all your hard
Right,
work
and this is
paid
my
off.
first. I know the team itself has 8, but you know, this was my our league championship was my first, and then the national championship was my second. So this, you know, this year has been everything I could ask for and some more, to be honest.
Amen.
Okay, so do you all know of any players that have gone from the CFA to like the XFL or the NFL? Or either down, like the other way, you know?
I don't know of any players that in our league that went to the NFL, but I do know that we have one player on our team. He did have a XFL tryout a couple of months ago, so hopefully he can make a squad.
Wow.
We got actually, I'm gonna cut you off, coach, but it's 2. So
Okay.
yeah, we had Jacquees Austin, who had an XFL tryout, but we had J.R. Leach, who got a contract in Germany. He plays football in Germany now professionally, through his film on semi-pro. So
Wow.
That's great. Would you all go overseas to play or coach? Would you be willing to do it? I know.
I got a family, so I probably going overseas would probably be a little bit stressful, but I would love to coach one day.
I would probably do it for like a couple of weeks and then come back.
You can't do it for a couple
of weeks.
Yeah, come back, you know. But to do it like full time, I don't think I would do it unless the money's right.
Right.
So money talks then.
Absolutely.
Right.
How long is the CFA season? Like, I don't know how many games or whatever.
Well, actually, we had a 10-game season, Jaylon? Regular season?
10 games. It was 10-game regular season and 3 games in the playoffs. So it was a 13-game season, and then we played the Sunshine National Championship game, and that was our 14th game.
That was 14. And then, you know, the CFA, they also have a fall league also. So they just started fall play now. So
okay. So wait, you said they just started fall play. That means you're not in it, or you are?
Yeah, so we're
we're a spring team.
We play in the spring, and then you got teams that play in the fall. So we won the 2022 spring championship, and now they're fighting for the fall championship.
Oh, so you can't do both.
You can.
But we just choose not to.
Okay.
I would play the spring too. Question I want to ask: which your favorite teams? I know, Coach. So, Coach is what? Tell us, Coach, again.
Oh, the Steelers.
Okay, and what NFL team do you support?
I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, in and out all the way through.
Okay.
I got a quarterback yet?
We got one. We're gonna see how it looks this year. We got one now. We're gonna go with Mayfield.
I call him Wayfair.
I think he's gonna do something this year. We're gonna see.
Well, I work for a robotics lab automation company in Barfield, North Carolina. Yeah, I've been there for like 21 years.
You don't look old like Peter. I've been on my job 20 years. You don't look old as me.
I just turned 44 Sunday.
See?
I mean, no, last Sunday. Not
happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. And what about you, Jaylon?
I do basically like financing and accounting, if you will. I guess you can call it that. Not at a bank or not like that, but that's the sum of it.
Yeah, that's my sum of it too. Wink, wink.
Football is my fun.
Oh, okay.
Football is my personally, like just me myself. I'll sit down, I'll watch football, watch film, or go work out for football any day of the week. Other than that, it's family stuff. You know what I mean? My kids, like the stuff that they into. My daughter likes dance, and my son, he's starting to pick up a ball now. So I'm sure he'll be out there with me soon.
And you would have no qualms about him playing? Like, you would be okay with it?
No, I learned my best lessons in life outside of like money management and stuff like that from the football. You know, like I said, falling down and getting back up, fighting, even if somebody might be bigger than you or stronger than you or faster than you. Like just having a drive for like competition, not quitting. You know what I mean? All that stuff. I don't think you could learn it anywhere better than like a sports environment. And so I can't wait. Personally, I can't wait till he's there.
Wow.
I want to start him off with like flag. I don't want him to get hurt, but when it's time to
pad up.
Yeah, when it's time to pad up, I'm gonna be right there excited for him, make sure he's ready for it.
Yeah, as a mom, I said my son could never play football or boxing, like never. Basketball's fine, no football and no boxing.
Wow.
And I have two sons, they're both grown. My oldest son had the height, but my youngest son had cancer when he was 1. So I wanted to put him in a bubble. And his dad was like, no, you got to let him live, Gwen. And after he was so good as a cornerback, he won Defensive Player of the Year like 3 years in a row. But when he got to high school, he could never make the weight because the chemo did something with his. So you have to be a minimum weight in high school. So he was done because he could never get to 140 because his body was down. So I let him, once he got out there, he stayed out there. I was out there. But he did get hurt 1 year and he had to sit out a couple of games. But for the most part, I think he learned. You said right when you said like you learn a lot of lessons. They learn to be because they had to play, and where DC is very small. If you're on a Pop Warner team or AU team, you got to play with other kids in neighborhoods that you may not get along with. Right. And y'all have to become teammates. Y'all have to be, one. So it taught them. My sons are really good at navigating through different parts of DC because they know somebody in every sector because they play basketball and football.
Right.
So it helps.
What do you do for fun?
Other than football, so basically it's, football, I enjoy, going out every now and then, and traveling a little bit, that's my fun.
Okay.
Amen. Clean, good fun.
So how, other than this episode, how can we spread the word about the CFA? What can we do to put it out there?
Well, we do have the CFA, they do have a Facebook page. They do have, you can join their page and, and share some of the things that they're trying to do. But I do want to say, this is my opinion. I'm being biased, but I think the CFA is the best league, and the best competition. Yeah, I know I'm biased, but hey, it is what it is.
That's fact. That ain't even biased though. That's facts. We got the most. we have the most teams that have league championships, have Sunshine Bowl appearances and championships than any other league in the country. So it's not just like us in the league that's winning. We got a few other teams in the league that know how to win as well. So it's definitely the SEC of semi-pro football, if you ask me.
Okay, which team is your biggest competition? Let me ask you that.
Coach, this season,
however you want to answer.
Well, this season I would say it was the Sumter Sharks. They beat us the first game. Beat us, I think it was like 13-6. And we ended up playing them for the championship. And we was actually down with 7 minutes, 11 seconds left. We was down like 30 to 19.
30-19, yep.
And we had a couple of things that went our way, and we ended up winning it like 33-30.
Oh wow! With only that's good.
Yeah, this season I would say the Sumter Sharks was our biggest competition.
Okay.
Any rivals, any game where everybody come out like, the whole town when you play this certain team, like everybody knows in the DMV is the Cowboys for us. So any team in your league that's your rival, like every time y'all play, everybody shows up.
I would say one of our rivals would probably be the Fayetteville Commandos.
Y'all got a Commandos?
Oh God.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. The Fayetteville Commandos is like our biggest rival. We always play them tough. They always play us tough. And I think also probably is going to be the Sumter Sharks. and
Moving
also,
forward.
yeah, and I would say also maybe the Carolina Chiefs because of the relationship our coach has with their coach. They like real tight, and they're based out of South Carolina. So yeah, so I would say those three.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, first, thank y'all for having us on. We appreciate the opportunity, the exposure, and being able to talk football with y'all. And shout out to Coach Eric Graham and all of our coaching staff, all of our players from the vets all the way down to the rookies like myself for this year. Shout out to all of them. Thank y'all for having us.
So I want to bring you guys back one more time during the season. That we do, we have a segment at our show where we do our weekly picks, and it'd be fun to pick with you guys. And to see, we can call it the battle of the sexes because it's the girls against the guys.
Let's do
and
it.
We can see who's gonna win the most, who's gonna pick the most games right. Can I
Okay,
do
we
it?
can do that. Yeah.
I'm good at that type of stuff.
Yeah,
We're ready to lose. We're ready to
you was
lose.
hanging in there with me. Now, come on now. I got you, boo.
All right.
We're gonna do this.
Let's do it.
That was an awesome segment, Sabrina. I really fell in love with Jaylon. Jaylon football IQ is on 2,000. That young man has a football IQ that's out of this world. And we started talking, and that conversation turned into an hour. Most people know me, I can go for an hour.
You're talking about when you first met Jaylon?
Say it again.
Talking about when you first met him?
When I first met him, we talked for an hour. It started off with one question, then it was an hour later. And most people know me, I can go an hour, but I'll spend the hour listening. Because out of the mouth of babes, you get so much knowledge.
And we didn't even tap into most of his knowledge on the show. So we have to have them back like we said.
Yeah. And I can't wait to battle the sexes. I'm ready to go up against something. So we just so thankful. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stick close to y'all family members. Check on each other. Pray for one another. Be there for one another. And love each other. I'm Gwen.
I'm Sabrina.
Stay safe. Stay blessed. Love someone.
Bye.
Bye.